Welcome back to Ringworm, folks. My back is not great for no reason. I've been moving logs and stuff for many a month and have no problems, but when I take a couple days off, things tighten up, and I pulled something a little bit. So between that and the fact that the good weather we've had the last 2 weeks has run out, looks like every day on the radar is rain, and the fact that my birthday is the day after tomorrow, I was thinking, what do I want to do out here for my birthday? And I decided all I'd really like to do is sit in the deer castle, look at the animals, and eat an entire pie. So I think it's going to pour all day tomorrow. So I packed up the tent, put all my junk in here. I'm going to go stay in the deer castle for a while. I've never done that. You guys saw a couple videos ago, Sarah and I slept in pretty much everything I've built out here. We didn't sleep on the sky deck because that's 15 feet up in the middle of nowhere, and she was not up for that. But everything else, and that was the first time I've slept in the deer castle, which I built, I think, over a year ago now. And we both agreed it was an awesome place to hang out. It was a little bit small for 2 people, but I loved hanging in there. I took my computer in there, did some editing. And now that I've got a couple of Jackery big batteries for the solar generator, I'm going to drag one of those out there, which is where I eventually want to have it anyway. And I'm going to hang out through the evening, all the rain tomorrow, my birthday the next day, and then we'll just see what happens. If I'm feeling back up to it and the rain isn't too bad, I might come out and do some more work here. Really want to get started building something new. Right there, I think, maybe a giant building project. I definitely wouldn't finish it until after the snow flies, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'm up for a new experience, so hanging in the deer castle for a couple days can be really fun. Let's give it a go. Guess I should close up the house. Since I basically never leave the property, I don't bother locking it up, you know. Maybe the neighbors will need something. Oh, that's a good thing for a sore back. Whew. I'm sure I'll be back a couple dozen times to pick up stuff I forgot. Every 30 seconds and look at mushrooms. See, the pumpkins are still in one piece. Should probably go down and take a look before we do anything, huh? I don't think it's rained since I covered the top in molasses and corn. See, all the corn's gone. Let's put a new camera up here too, so okay, at least you can look. Maybe later on I'll pull the card out of it and see what's on it, see what was probably just squirrels and whatnot, birds. I know a lot of the jays like to come and eat all the corn. Nothing took a bite out of the pumpkins though. I don't know if you can see the little tiny mushrooms all over this. I'll show you some pictures of the mushrooms from the last couple days. Everywhere I walk, I gotta stop, like, whoa, look at that thing. I have to stop and take a picture. This little thing's not good enough anymore. I'm too spoiled. I gotta use my Mondo King, the monster thermarest. Oh baby. Oh, double it up then. Yeah, this is great. I don't know why I don't spend more time in here. It's a nice view. Got my, what, only 4 pounds of peanut butter, apples, some cheese, some sausage. I got it all. I got everything a guy, almost everything a guy would need. I noticed that the brie makes my back feel better too. This is really a great idea to come out here. Sometimes I can't just do brie and salami and peanut butter because it doesn't have enough calories, so at the end I like to switch up for some Nutella, you know, just for a little jolt. I bet I'm disgusting you right now, aren't I? I kind of disgust myself too. Man, it's good. Oh man, this is the best place I've ever sat and used a computer. Whew, it's fantastic. Pretty sweet to be able to plug it in underneath my bunk here too. Well, this is a great way to spend a birthday. I love it. This is definitely one to remember. I spent the morning reading for like 3 hours, drinking coffee, sitting by the window, watching the deer. There's like all sorts of wildlife coming in to look at those pumpkins. I'll show you some videos from the trail cams I just checked this morning. And I went back to camp this morning to make my coffee. Unfortunately, something short and fat got onto the lean-to. I don't know if it was another skunk or actually the first time I've seen raccoons out here were the trail cams just last night. So it might have been a raccoon got in there. I couldn't find any sign. That's a problem, but a part of the reason too that I wanted to stay in here for a few days is just to get a feel for the size of it. I think it's about like 9 by 7-ish. It's not square, of course, because nothing I build square, because it's always built on trees, roughly spaced, whatever size I want. But it's bowed out. This way is wider than that side. Anyway, 9 by 7. I believe in this area you can build more or less anything you want up to 200 square feet. I'm not going to do that right now, but just for some idea, if I was down the road to build some kind of a cabin, I just wanted to know what it would feel like compared to this. So it would be about 3 times the size of this, which is, like, to me would be enormous. This is a really nice size for one person. I like the trap door on the floor just because it's fun and the ladder coming up here. I did it that way because it's so small in here. If I put the door on the side of it, especially when you're 7 or 8 feet off the ground, you got to have stairs going up to it, and then that doorway takes away from the wall space, and clearly there's not much wall space, and the wall space there is. I put nails on and have to hang stuff up because there's no room on the floor or not really that many shelves to set stuff. But I think the next thing I want to build is a man cave right in camp. I'm going to build it similar to this. The thing is, I can build to about 10 by 10 with my milling setup because those steel bars that help you make the first cut on the log with the chainsaw, those are 13 feet long, which means, can you hear the frogs? Anyway, the bars are 13 feet long, which really means you can mill about a 12-foot log at very, very most. And that means if you make a 10-foot building and you want a foot overhang on either side, the front or the back or whatever, that's about all you get away with is 10 by 10. So I'm thinking maybe some kind of a man cave 10 by 10. I want to have a real floor in it, and if nothing else, it'll help keep the animals out, because there's nothing I can do to keep the skunks and raccoons or whatever it is out of the lean-to. Plus, with a dirt floor in the lean-to, you know, it's so wet around here that when it rains for weeks, it's really damp inside the lean-to, and then, you know, when it gets cold and you get condensation, like all the tools and fabric and everything just gets like covered in mildew and rust and whatever. So also thinking it would be in camp, so in the winter I'm good camping down to about 10 degrees. If it's below that, it's really not that much fun. But if the temperature got below 10, I could always go and I think the tool room will just have like a big workbench, maybe workbench on 2 sides, probably still have a fold down bunk in it, have a little space heater in there. I can actually use these space heaters in my mountain tent that I use in the winter, but you can only use it, you know, first thing when you wake up in the morning or maybe before you go to bed for a little bit. You have to constantly turn it from off to low to off to low, because you put it on low and within 5 minutes it's probably over 100 degrees in the tent. So it's not like you can leave it on while you're sleeping or anything. Anyway, just lots to think about. I think I'm going to hop on the 4-wheeler and make a run out. I need an apple pie. It's one of my favorite foods. I try to eat a whole apple pie every birthday. It's a little bit of a trip to get out of here, but I think it'd be worth it. I gotta go get some more ice for my coolers too, and a couple other things. So make a quick run out, see if I can find a pie. Maybe eat it right here watching the deer tonight for dinner. To the pie store. Well, I made it back. It didn't go quite like I'd hoped. I could not hunt down the pie lady, the local pie lady, but I couldn't find one anywhere. So as soon as I finish editing this video, hit save. It's actually getting quite late. I'll show you what I got for a birthday cake for myself. It's not like any birthday cake I've ever had, but I have a feeling it's going to be amazing. It might be like the new thing I have on my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Isn't being alone just the greatest? I know most people don't like it after a day or 2 or 3, but I love it. Just love being alone out here. Any second of the day, anything you want to do, turn right, turn left, jump on one foot, you just do it. No considerations, nothing to worry about. It's fantastic. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got my people that I love and I love spending time with, but all right, let's see what we got here. Oh, I got myself a birthday present that just came in. Well, it wasn't a birthday present, but all the same, it's extremely exciting. Got 3 new Grandberg milling chains. Of all the chains I've used, which is probably, I don't know, 8, 10 different chains for milling. I like those the best. And 3 of them, that's like double what I've got. So I sharpen everything as I'm milling, switch them out every so many boards. And then once I get through everything I have, I go back and take them all and up to the bench grinder and sharpen them also. Oh, Ryan, thank you. No, that's okay. Don't mention it. And for my birthday cake, I have a feeling this is going to be awesome. Under the circumstances, this is the best I could do. Now don't worry, that's not the whole thing. First we start with a $1 apple pie. maybe mash it up a little bit. Layer number 2 is the absolute best apples I've ever had from the farmer down the road. Honey Crisp right off the tree. It's like now I'm running a cooking show. What you want to do is dice these up pretty fine with the same mushroom, or the same with the same knife you used to cut poisonous mushrooms earlier today. Then you're going to want to take these and lightly waft them over the bowl. Is that a cooking term? I think it is. You're going to want to waft the whole apple right there. And then you're going to let it rest for about 3 to 5 seconds. That helps to tenderize it. And then, also from the farmer down the road, Michigan maple syrup raspberry infused. Let's see, you're going to want to use exactly 1.325 ounces of that. Make sure to lick the bottle. Wow, that is good. Those apples are just to die for. I love a good Honey Crisp. It's actually a weirder mix of flavors than I expected. But if it's your birthday and you're alone in the woods, in a deer castle on stilts, and you have to have an apple pie, this will do. Oh man, that was good, but my teeth feel softer. I'll find a toothbrush and lay down. Time for bed. Oh, worth it. Whew. Well, it's been 3 days. The first 2 were great. By the end of the 3rd, started getting a little bit claustrophobic. Not claustrophobic, but I need to move. I'm gonna get even. My back's still not great. And after a while, it just gets tightened up from sitting around too much. So I gotta get out of here. Guess I'm gonna move back to the tent, and I'm gonna start getting the shakes pretty bad if I don't get to get the chainsaw out and chop some stuff up, build something ridiculous. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, we hope.